We're getting ready to play Texas Southern this week. A team that's coming in 2-1. Really extremely big weekend for us. Having 2 home games in a row, or 3 in a row, but extremely big weekend. Both teams 2-1. Both teams at the top of the league. Both teams will pick preseason 1, 2, 3 somewhere in that range. So huge weekend for us because we're all sitting there 2-2 and 3-1. So it's not very much difference in the teams. Everybody, one game out of first place.
Coach, tough loss against Southern. What is the mindset going into the next game?
You know what? I haven't seen our guys as far as on the floor. We haven't been on the floor since the Southern game. I met with a couple of them to watch film. Met with a couple of them to actually get some extra shots up. But as far as the entire team, we'll practice today at 5 o'clock this evening. That'll be the first time I've seen the group since the Southern game. But just talking to them individually, everybody's in good spirit. Everybody ready to practice. So as a coaching staff, we met a couple of times since the Southern game, and we're extremely excited about to see how do our guys respond at practice today.
It's especially frustrating considering how close both of the losses have been.
The only one that was frustrating was probably the Alabama A&M game. We just didn't play well at all for whatever reason. We got off to a slow start. We actually were leading at the half, 25-24, but we didn't play a good half of basketball. And I think the thing with both of our losses, probably the most frustrating part is at the free throw line. We missed 7 or 8 coming down the stretch against Alabama A&M, and you think you're at home, so you think most of those are going to go in. 50-50 tie at Southern. Roland gets a M1. He gets the 2 points. He goes to the free throw line. You're talking about a guy that's probably one of your better free throw shooters. You can take the lead at 51-50 with maybe 45 to 50 seconds left to go in the game. Don't convert it. So probably the free throw line probably been the most disappointing thing in the 2 losses. Just because we probably could have won the game here. We made free throws coming down the stretch.
Coach, are you concerned about the outside 3-point shooting?
You know what? You're concerned a little, but not much because we can score and we can win without making the shots. When we do make threes, then we play well. I think the thing that we have done, the games that we didn't shoot it well, the other team didn't shoot it well either. I think that's something that we've been working on, we've been stressing. I think one of the problems we got, I think Tristan Jarrett has not shot the ball well from the 3. And when he shoots it way up from the 3, then we're a different basketball team because defensively we're fine, giving up 57 to Alabama A&M, 50 to Southern. So defensively we're fine. And the two wins we scored the basketball, and the 2 losses we didn't. And then when you go back and look at the 2 losses, we didn't shoot a great percentage from the 3-point line, maybe 2 for 14 against A&M and 0 for 10 against Southern. And then on the free throw line, we had problems in both games. So you can put your finger directly on where we need to. What we need to do and actually to be successful, and that's shooting the ball a little bit better from the 3-point line and then making free throws down the stretch.
Coach, speaking of offense, with Roland Griffin having a big game and can score, do you look to try to get him going early in the game, just to get some offense going, or what's your mindset and take it?
At this point, I think Tristan Jarrett is the one that we look to get a better start because we kind of looking at the last couple of games. We know what Roland going to give us. We know Tristan has to make shots, and he's a scorer, and he has to see that ball go in. So I think as a coaching staff, what we talked about was maybe getting Tristan off to a better start and then playing off of that because we know what Roland's going to bring to the table.
Where the team is now, I guess with how the roles have worked out for the players, is this about how you expected to manage the team at this point? Looking back to beginning of the season.
Yeah, we felt like we would be in the position that we're in, not wins and losses. We felt like on wins and losses we probably would be 3-1, win the 2 home games, get a split on the road. If you get lucky, win both of them. So we felt like we would be 3-1. The team felt like we would be 3-1. The output from each individual, we feel like we're right on target. The only problem we've had maybe in the last couple of games is just Tristan not scoring like he scored during the non-conference season, and then he scored maybe 31 or 32 in the Alabama A&M game, and then he hadn't shot the ball well, I guess, the next 3. So the good part about it, we know that he can score because he did it against, Power 5 schools. He did it in the first SWAC game. So it's not a situation where we're trying to go find a player and see how we're going to score. We know we got a guy that can get 19 or 20 points in a game. The biggest thing that we take from it is all of our other guys that fell into their roles and they're playing well. They're doing exactly what we want them to do. I think with this team over the next 2-3 game home stretch, I think if Tristan gets back to scoring like he scored the ball early in the season, I think we can be a dangerous team.
I mean, if Tristan gets back to what he was non-conference, I mean, in terms of the dominoes that fall behind him, I mean, like you mentioned, it's a dangerous team. I mean, how dangerous can it be?
No, we can be really good because you're talking about 2 guys that can get 20 points. And in this league, if you got 2 that can give you 20 each and every night, that's a specialty to have. You're talking about Roland Griffin, who can score inside and out, can shoot the 3, can go down on the block and score, can go to the free throw line and shoot it. Then you added another guy who can dribble, drive, who can create shots, who can make hard shots. He's a guy that's not afraid of the moment. I don't think he doesn't care if you miss or make it. Doesn't bother him. So I think the thing with us, we got to get him to make them because it bothers me when he miss them. So that's the thing with him. But he's not a kid that's afraid to take a shot. Even after the Southern game, he's back in the gym putting up shots. And I had him in watching film yesterday, and nothing seems to bother him about playing bad in 3 games. So that's a good part about it. He's not stressing about it. So hopefully, we get him back on track and we can get him back to that 19, 20 point mark.
So from like a coaching standpoint, knowing that Tristan has that confidence that he's, you won't have any fear of putting the ball up, is that something that where you just almost are like, we'll just wait for it to go and there's really nothing you could tell him, coach him or anything like that?
Normally with basketball, any kind of sport, if a guy plays bad in 2 or 3 games, normally he's due for 2 or 3 good ones. Now, if a guy plays bad and he's a bad player, you're going to continue to get bad games. But you're talking about a guy who's played well all season, so it's not like we don't know that he can score. So it's a matter probably of just getting him back to the floor, getting the opponent on the floor, seeing the ball go in early, and I think he'll be fine.
Coach, in non-conference, you spend a lot of time on the road. How nice has it been just, finally getting the swing of conference play where you spend some time, at home and on the road? It's not just all pretty much road games.
It's a lot easier. Your road games, they come quick. You're in and out of the airport. The airport probably the most difficult part of it because, you fly into Dallas. You may have a layover for 4 or 5 hours. You may have a layover for 10 hours, like the Memphis game. Now with the games, you take the bus, and some games an hour trip, some games a 3-hour trip. You know where you're going. If you need to stop and eat or stop by Walmart and pick up Gatorade or something, you can stop and not have to worry about being in the airport. So it's a lot different once you get to conference. Then the other difference is you're looking at guys that look just like your guys. When you look at the league, you look at a Grambling that's 3-1, a A&M that's 2-2, a PB that's 2-1. If you go down the list, even the Southern and Alabama State are 1-3, but they 1 game out of 2nd place. And then the other 5 teams that have won 2 games, they're 1 game out of 1st place. So nobody in the league won both of their games on the road. So that's an encouraging sign. Some people split, and then everybody beat everybody. Even though we played well at Alcorn, and then Grambling went to Alcorn leading the league at 3-0. But then Alcorn really played well that Monday night, so it just shows you parity in the league. You just got to be ready to play.
Coach, talk about Jonas James and what he brings to the team off the bench with the offensive scoring.
Jonas gives us a different dynamic to our team, a quicker point guard, or a point guard who can score some points. Really extremely good in pick and roll. We use him to give us a spark, and like the last maybe 3 or 4 games, he's been coming in giving us 10 points, maybe 4 or 5 assists. I think that would even go up to 11 or 12 points over the next couple of games. He's getting more and more comfortable with running the offense. I think the main thing that we wanted from him at the beginning, he didn't participate on the defensive end every single possession. Now when you go back and look at the film the last couple of games, and really started maybe that Alcorn game, we kind of really got into him, kind of challenged him about the Howard kid, and he really took that upon himself to be a better defensive player. We always knew he could defend, but he just didn't do it every single possession. But he's really playing good right now.